Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New To Weeaboo. This is number 8 for the month of September. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Yeah, as I said last month, we were talking about Love Live this time, but before we get to that, another idol thing, I guess. Zombieland Saga they announced finally second season. Zombieland Saga Revenge.
We all want to know what the revenge is about.
Yeah, they announced it very much with a naked Kataro, so there's that.
Oh boy.
That's what they did. And they also announced the Sakura Nendoroid, so I got that in pre-order. So I'm very excited because, yeah, that's coming out. You know, I was pleading for a second season. We're getting one.
Yay.
Yeah, I couldn't bear the thought of those 7 never coming back. But well, we're not here to talk about that idol group. We're here to talk about a different idol group. We're actually we're going to talk about Love Live School Idol Project, the first anime series they did. We won't really talk about Sunshine because, well, he hasn't watched it yet, and I haven't seen the movie for the second one either, so there's that. And so it's kind of different from Index and whatnot. With that, those all interconnected. These two series are very much only loosely connected by like one thing. You can actually watch
the other exists.
You could watch Sunshine and not have to watch the first one, but yeah, it's one of those. But anyway, we're talking about Love Live School Idol Project, which, yeah, it's the anime. It's like when you think about idol anime, it's the idol anime. I think it's the one that everyone mimics and or like, for example, Zombieland Saga's case, they kind of occasionally made fun of it a couple times.
It's the trendsetter.
It's the trendsetter. It's the idol anime that everyone knows about. It's the big one. Yeah, it's basically the basic thing about it. It's about school idols, which is a kind of a new concept, I guess, or at least invented concept. There's high school girls who are idol performers. Duh. In this one, it's what happens. Otono Kuzoka High. I think that was pronounced that right. Yeah, it's one of those things like
Otono Kizaka.
Yeah, that's right. Otono Kuzaka High. Tonokazaka High is a school which apparently is shutting down soon. As they're not accepting any more applications or if they don't get enough applications to justify it, they're going to shut down the school. Yep. And we get the thing of this group of girls, particularly Honoka Kosaka, is very worried about this. And yeah, so they want to save the school, and they eventually stumble across the idea of becoming school idols, and thus getting popularity, and thus more girls want to apply, so the school stays open. That's the gist of it. And then there's the whole idol competition called the Love Live, and that's the basic framework of the story.
Yep.
It actually doesn't get that complicated. It's just
it really doesn't.
They become school idols, they practice, they perform, they get into the Love Live competition and all that stuff. It's a pretty predictable anime overall when it comes to the story.
Yep, it is not what I would call a story driven.
No, it's character driven.
Very much character driven.
It's because it's
slice of life.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a focused slice of life. There is a central theme and core thing for them to focus on, but it's still very much slice of life in the end. Because there are slice of life, there is no direction. It just goes wherever the characters go. A good example of that is actually, I don't think the big one, which is Lucky Star, is the big like slice of life anime, which is just, there is no plot really. It's just kind of group of girls doing whatever. There is a central plot line, which has kind of become the thing for Lost Slice of Life now. There is a central core thing for it to center around, but it's not that important.
Yeah. It's only there to give a reason for existing.
Yeah. This is also basically part of a giant franchise as well, the Love Live franchise.
Yeah.
Which started off as a game, an anime, manga, actually multiple animes, and probably a third one coming. They haven't announced yet, but it's almost guaranteed, I think, at this point. There's going to be a second game coming this fall. And of course, actual live performances from the seiyuu, or the voice actors. So there's that. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of money in this.
Lot of money.
Yeah, so the actual characters, as we said, it is very much a character-driven anime, and there are 9 main characters, which is a lot to go over.
It is a lot.
It's a lot in general, and they actually, I think, do a pretty good job of balancing the focus between the 9 of them without, no one of them really gets too much attention and no neglecting of any of them, really.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that. Like, Hanukkah is definitely the main character,
Main character.
Everyone gets equal screen time, basically. Everyone feels fleshed out. No one seems to be just like a third wheel or ninth wheel, as the case may be.
Or it's not like Cinderella 9 turned out to be in the end.
Yeah.
Where that turns out like 3/4 of the cast was kind of felt underdeveloped.
Yes, I will agree. This one definitely felt like every character was well developed and established, and I think they did a very good job there.
Yeah, and it's a 2-season anime plus a movie. Each season being 13 episodes. Started in 2013. It's kind of old now. A little on the old side. It's getting there.
Yeah,
6 years old now. And the franchise actually started in 2010s. Actually, they just celebrated their 9th year. It's a big deal because it's number 9. There's 9 members in each group, so it's the 9th year. It's actually still celebrating the 9th year.
Yeah,
it's been a big deal. And they're like, including apparently they just announced so this group Muse, that's the name of their group. They actually they did their final live show several years ago. I think it was actually 2015, I believe 2015 or 2016. They did their final live show. That's over. It's over. We're not doing any more. There's nothing more. They're not doing no more music, no more live shows, nothing.
Right.
And then just announced a new PV for Muse this year, coming out in like a couple weeks or something like that. Or it might already be out by now. I'm not sure. But it's like they just announced it's like a big shock. Everyone's like, "What? They're coming back?" Because it's the 9th year, so it's like, it's a big deal, I guess.
Reunion tour.
Yeah. So it's
it's not that big of a deal. How many other like bands and stuff have multiple farewell and reunion tours?
This is different. This is Idols. This is a whole different ballgame than American music industry.
But
so the characters themselves actually getting to the meat of the whole thing. But of course, like I said, Hanukkah Kosaka is the main character. Like she's the one who makes it all happen in the first place. It's because of her that there's even a Muse.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing is also Muse. It's the letter mu, from Greek alphabet, apostrophe S.
Yes, not to be confused with Muse.
Yeah.
M-U-S-E. A different musical group.
Yep, entirely different musical group.
Very different musical group.
I think.
I wonder.
Yeah, she's kind of she's flighty, she's excitable, she's
bubbly.
Yeah. She's also kind of an airhead sometimes.
Yep.
A little clumsy here and there, but yeah. And generally a good person and very good, very friendly and helpful and all that stuff when she can be. Not always very helpful, but she tries. But she also has her 2 childhood friends. There's Umi Sonoda and Kotori Minami. Those 2 are very different personalities.
Yes.
And they're the core of the group in the end. I mean, if Hanukkah's the main character, but those 3 are the core of the group. They're the ones who they're the first 3 in the group there and all that stuff. And Kotori's like, she's very cheerful. Very cheerful and all that stuff. And that's kind of her thing. She's also very much interested in fashion and whatnot. That's why she becomes the group's outfit designer. Or that's just like she does her thing. Very cheerful. Sometimes indulges Hanukkah a little too much to Umi's dismay, because Umi's very strict and serious and
very, or at least she tries to be. Yes.
Also very bashful.
Yes.
Oh, she's not trying to be. She's very serious. She's kind of the one who, when Hanukkah says we should do something, she's the one who goes, "How? How are you going to do that?"
Yep.
The voice of reason. Usually.
Sometimes a little bit too far.
A little bit, yeah, too far. She gets a little overseas, but she also does sometimes recognize when she needs to give in and let things happen.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yep.
So yeah, those are the core, 3, and then you got the first years and the third years as well. Because in the first years you got Haneo Kozumi. She's very quiet, very shy, but also a huge fan of idols. Huge. Like, she transforms into a completely different person when she gets excited about school idols. Yeah, so she's She's the very shy one.
Very, very shy.
Very
Yes.
quiet.
Yes.
And then you got her best friend, Rin Hoshizora,
Rin.
the furry.
cat. The furry.
Yeah, that's a fandom. But she does lots of cat puns and whatnot. Lots of nyas.
And always wears like cat hoodies and things like that.
She's kind of
permanent cat face.
Yeah, she's also kind of the sporty one in the sense, she's sporty. She's also kind of excitable. She's a bit like Hanukkah, except more in shape, I guess.
Yeah.
Also a little naive sometimes.
A little bit naive. But yeah, she's the athletic one.
And the final third year, Maki Nishikino. She's the tsundere. Very much the tsundere.
Very much.
She's withdrawn. She's a little
aloof.
Gets a little angry when people figure her out. Angrily denies everything.
Yes.
I do not like you. Shut up.
Not like I like you or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
then, of course, the third year is you got Ellie Ayase, who's the student council president, at least initially. Yeah, she's also quarter Russian, so she's tall and blonde. Yeah, she's also kind of serious. She's a lot like, she's kind of shares a lot of traits with Umi as well. She's very serious and tries to maintain control, but at the same time, it's very clear she's barely hanging on at times.
Yep. It tries to show this maturity, the mature one of the group.
She tries to be
one of them, yes, and she attempts to.
And she's also a former ballet dancer.
Yep.
Which also kind of plays into some interpersonal drama a little bit later on. Because she's very much, it starts off very much against this whole school idol thing.
Yep.
We see that as well. And what was the other thing I was thinking of with her? Oh, it turns out, we find out later, she's also very much scared of the dark. Which kind of undercuts her image a bit.
Yep, a little bit.
And then you got her best friend, Nozomi Tojo, who's spiritual. So we say.
Yes.
She works as a shrine maiden, but she also does like tarot cards and stuff. She's also very much, she always maintains this calmness about it. Like, everything's going to work out. I know it's going to work out. It'll be fine.
The cards told me so.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So she's also kind of like motherly to a lot of them. She's the one who kind of often gives advice. And she's also the one who kind of worked behind the scenes for a while, making sure the group actually formed and was successful.
She was the one who came up with the name.
Yeah. She also doesn't know personal space very well.
She can be a bit
touchy,
handsy.
Yeah, handsy. The washi, she calls it, where she gropes the other girls.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's we'll get back to her in a little bit. And the final member, and probably not the least, definitely she will insist she's not the least at all. Nico Yazawa. Yeah, Nico.
The gremlin.
The gremlin, yeah. She's the one who wants to be an idol. She's always wanted to be an idol.
She's technically the club president.
Yeah, she was the club president, and she's the one who initially, again, was also against them forming, mostly because, she saw them as an insult to school idols.
Yep.
So yeah, so she's very much a dual personality. She has her public personality, she has her private personality. She's very angry. Yeah, very angry, temperamental, all sorts of just a little I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to talk about it. She's,
other than gremlin,
she's also got a bit of very high standards.
Yes.
And she's not afraid to let you know what she thinks. She's very opinionated and will not hold back on that.
But the public people actually care.
Yeah, but her public persona is very cutesy and, very cutesy and innocent and.
Yep.
The Nico Nico Ni.
Yep. Nico Nico Ni.
Yep. So yeah, those are the 9 characters. There's other ones here and there, but they don't really do a whole lot. At least not enough to actually really talk about them too much. I mean, there's a couple group of girls who kind of did some AV stuff for them. The parents have a little bit, Nico's family, but they're kind of barely there.
And then there's the other idol groups like Arise.
Oh, and there's also the siblings from like Honoka and Ellie.
Yeah,
as well. But yeah, Arise is a kind of a weird one. They weren't super important in the first season. They kind of became a little more important in the second season.
They were sort of a drive.
Yeah. They're the initial
Comic Con?
catalyst, but
Yeah.
beyond that, they didn't do much in the first. They weren't really in this first season too much beyond that.
Yeah.
But second season, they all of a sudden showed up because that was Tsubasa, Enju, and crap, I can't remember the other one's name. Gonna drive me up the wall, but yeah. So that's more or less the 9 main characters, and they're as I said, they're the main draw of this franchise, and this particular version of the franchise, because the other version also has their characters, which also people drawn to, but they're the main draw. The characters are, because again, it's predictable. You can tell, they're going to save the school, they're going to win the love live. That's duh. They do exactly that. They save the school, they win the love live.
Not at first.
Well, they save the school in the first season, and then the second season they win the love live.
Yes.
And then the movie, they make the love live even bigger.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is, it's not exactly difficult to predict where it's going to go. You tell. The thing is, a lot of the individual episodes don't really focus on that stuff. It's always in the background, yes, but a lot of the individual episodes are focusing on the characters and their individual stories. Like the episode where Rin is struggling with the fact she wants to be girly and wear a dress, but she feels like she can't. Stuff like that. Or Nico struggling with the fact that she has to take care of her family sometimes when that can interfere, and she doesn't want the rest of them to know about that.
Yep. Well, whatever Maki's thing is.
Yeah, Maki has a hard time making friends because she's always been very aloof and distant for various reasons. We don't know the exact reasons why, but we also find out she's very, very rich.
She comes from a very rich family.
Yeah, so
her mom seems nice though.
Yeah, that might factor into it. One of those things. It's one of those things. Either like she assumes that people, take advantage of her rich.
Yeah, that
being
could
rich,
be,
or just she has a bad experience, which I would actually possibly just assume. She just assumed people would take advantage of the fact she's rich, and so she's like, why should I bother?
Yep,
making friends. They're just going to take advantage of me.
Yep.
So maintain your distance. Don't tell anyone you're rich. There you go. There's no pain that way, right?
Exactly. You can never, get hurt by bad friends or losing friends if you never have friends in the first place, right?
Except you're just hurting yourself.
Yes, but it's better to have a slight little hurt that you can deal with day to day than one really, really big one, right?
And of course, another big factor of it is the music. I mean, duh.
Well, that's kind of the main point. Honestly, how much of the story and stuff is just a driving point to make more music?
Yeah, because a large chunk of the songs did exist before the anime did, and they just basically chose what songs to pick.
Yep.
From their fairly large catalog, actually. I think Muse has, for all of them, have something in the 100-something songs. So there's a lot.
There's lot.
There's only 26 episodes. You can only put so many songs in the anime.
Just make the whole thing one big musical.
Oh, dear. But yeah, the characters are a lot of fun. I think a lot of their interactions wind up being goofy and fun. And that's like a lot of it winds up being very typical teenager stuff, but in a good way,
Yeah, I would hope that the character interactions are fun, considering this is a character-driven show and everything relies on that. There's no lore or other story going on.
Or it's very threadbare.
Yeah, it's not supposed to drive it. It is all the character interactions that do drive it. And yes, I will agree. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was very, very well made, like I said before. They're great characters. They really are. And they're really, really well written. I didn't really know what to expect going into this that much because, I've seen Zombieland Saga, but
I don't have any experience with this. It's weeb nonsense.
Yeah, this weeb stuff. I'm kind of new to this whole weeb
idol thing.
This whole
that's a whole extra dimension beyond anime.
Yeah, the idol side of things of the anime world. The only one I've really seen is Zombieland, and that's kind of a parody of it, so it doesn't really play the same.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I will say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other
definitely
examples
enjoyed this
of idol stuff, but I haven't watched a whole lot of them. There's a weird one I need to watch. Kind of, it's like apparently a weird thing of idol fused with battle, and it's like, oh geez, that looks like fun. But yeah, what was it?
Kill the musical.
Oh dear.
Now that's in you.
That's what it was. Yeah, Symphogears. I think it's idol anime
Oh, I've been
fused with
hearing about
magical
that.
girl.
Symphogear, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically idol mixed with. That's my understanding of it. It's idol mixed with magical girl. So it's like, interesting. I guess it makes sense, but
Yeah, it would definitely make sense.
so I have to ask you, who's your favorite?
You already know the answer. You just want it on record.
I just want confirmation.
It's still Maki.
Maki. Yeah, Maki's very popular.
You said that, yes.
Yeah, she's very popular. She's one of those popular characters.
For me, she intrigues me. I don't. It could be completely wrong, but the way she's presented is that she has this potential of character depth. That it's played that there's more going on. That there's something there, something deep, and we get hints at it. And so I don't know exactly how deep the character goes because they don't fully show it, but they definitely show that there is something there, and that she's keeping it reserved. So she intrigues me a lot. And I like a lot of her antics.
Just sitting there playing with her hair because she's nervous about this whole.
But also doesn't want to say it.
Yeah, it's just funny. Whenever she gets into an uncomfortable social situation, she starts sitting there playing with her hair. Because like,
Yep.
she gets uncomfortable pretty quick.
Yep. It's interesting. She like her general wear out in public, very plain clothes, but always got that ball cap too.
Yeah, there's that
like
too.
Trying to hide.
The one time she kind of looked like Miami Vice wannabe.
I always got the like Watch Dogs impression. Dark clothes, ball cap.
Oh no,
Watch Dogs.
I like the bit when she and Hanukkah first met. It was Hanukkah's at the window clapping when she's playing the piano.
That was great.
The other thing, Maki plays piano.
Yes. She is a songwriter.
And she winds up being a songwriter, and she plays piano. And so that's why Hanukkah's like, please join.
Please join. We need you.
We need music. And Maki's like, no.
No.
Idol music's stupid. She's like, because he listens to classical and jazz.
Yep.
That's real music.
That's real music.
Oh boy, she's a music snob.
Oh boy.
Well, she started off as one.
Classically trained.
Yeah.
Classically trained. That is an unfortunate thing that does tend to happen.
Oh, the other thing, her family's rich because they own a hospital.
Yes, that's why.
And apparently that's part of her backstory is she's supposed to become a doctor. Her parents are pushing her to become a doctor.
But she doesn't want to.
Well, sort of. That's a whole thing in the manga and fan works. And boy, it's like always like a lot of fan works have that. That's a point of drama of I want to do music, but my family's forcing me to go in medicine.
It is a very common trope.
Or trying to balance the two or whatever, or giving up on music and just going to medicine or whatever it is. Some of them is like, oh, she happily goes into medicine, you know. She's like, eventually, she's like, I like music, but I do actually enjoy doing the
study the medicinal effects of music.
Oh boy. Yeah, so that's a thing. Is that's the other thing. The manga actually has a lot of stuff, which is weird because the manga and anime are very different from one another because of various things. Characters interact differently. Like Maki's got a kind of a different personality in the manga a little bit. She's not so tsundere so much. She's more. She's more Himidari, if I recall correctly. I can
barely remember what the differences are.
Himidari is princess. Like she basically is thinks of herself very much above everyone else.
Oh.
So it's a kind of a different personality, but she also shares some things in common with the anime iteration. But the anime iteration is, I think, the more popular iteration of Maki. So it's kind of weird. And I think like the game, for example, kind of mixes the two sometimes, depending on which story you're looking at. Apparently, one of the things is she really likes tomatoes. That's not in the anime at all. But
I was about to say, I don't remember that.
That was not in the anime at all. It's like other stuff. It's like, because they got those bios and stuff, but she really likes tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yep.
Slice them up, put a little salt on them. There you go.
Yep,
nice fresh tomato.
Oh, she's also a little naive, because I remember there's a whole thing she was talking about Santa. She still believes in Santa. She's like 16 years old or whatever. She's like 15 or 16 years old.
You still believe in Santa? Don't say it.
Don't ruin her. No, everyone's like, no, shut up. That's also it's funny. Stuff pops up in fan works. Just someone eventually tells her Santa's not real, and she has her little existential crisis over this. Then who's been leaving my presents? Your parents.
Your parents.
No.
It can't be. Search your feelings.
Yeah, the other thing was a lot of it likes to depict her as having a bit of a sometimes strained relationship with her dad, because her dad at one point in the manga didn't want her doing this idol nonsense.
She has dad?
Yeah. Well, he appeared in the movie.
Oh yeah.
When he dropped her off at the airport, but we didn't see him, but she talked to him. It's one of those things.
Yeah, because that's something we haven't mentioned yet. It's like
There's almost no guys.
there's no guys.
Well, very few. Like
There's a chin.
in the actual. Well, there's also little Kotaro.
Oh yeah, the little boys.
Nico's-
They don't count.
Nico's little brother and Hanukkah's dad.
The chin.
And for most of the series, they're pretty much only guys who show up. And then in the movie, there's background dudes, but that's about it.
Yeah.
No guys talk. I don't think there's any real male voice actors other than just making that random noises that the dad makes or whatever, or Kotaro.
Yeah. Well, usually little boys are played by girls anyway.
Sometimes, yeah. Usually. Sometimes they actually get an actual little kid, but not very often.
Not very often. It's hard to get them to. Harder to work with.
Yeah, various reasons. But yeah,
They tend to be rather random.
yeah. Mackie's actually a pretty funny character. She's actually she's my second favorite actually. Problem is, yeah, it's getting merchandise in Mackie is difficult because everyone wants it, so it's very expensive.
Yes.
Especially say if you want to get a Figma. Oh, hey, it's all like $80-$90 a pop.
Oh, and that's yeah.
But if you want to get the fig arts, you get it about for $45-$50, which is a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper.
But it's a fig arts. It's not as good.
It's not as good. It's because not a Figma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my favorite's actually Umi. I don't know what it was. It's just, I think it's
one.
well, a little bit. I think it's more along. I like the fact that she can jump from bashful, kind of awkward to really serious, and you're going to die mode. Real in the drop of a hat. Murder Umi.
The Yandere almost.
You know, the pillow fight bit where it's they woke her up. And it's like, everyone's going to die.
Yep.
Just like the pillow she threw so hard.
She's Archer too.
Yeah, she threw the pillow so hard, she sent a shockwave.
Yep.
Yeah, she's an archer, and that's her thing. She's just and there's also she does kind of want to be a school idol, but she's just scared of it because there was that bit in the early on where she was imagining herself. She actually looked like she liked the idea, but also again terrified of the idea.
Yep.
So that's the thing. I think a lot of it is just looking at it. I would feel like a lot of it is like she's just honestly sometimes just terrified of actually doing these things because they're so out of her wheelhouse. Like she's raised to be very proper and put together, and when these things come along and throw her out of whack, she freaks out, doesn't know what to do, and panics.
Yep.
And we see that like she got lost in New York, and what happens? She freaks.
Yep.
So,
Hanukkah got lost in New York, and
but she didn't.
She freaked.
She freaked, but not as bad as Umi
mad.
was crying pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I say Umi got mad when Hanukkah got lost.
Yeah, because she's like, oh God, she's going through the same thing I did.
Yep.
Except she's alone. I had two friends. She's completely alone.
Except she wasn't. She had her future self.
Probably. Don't do that.
That whole
don't
thing.
Do that. Don't do
Whoever that
Yeah,
was.
the movie thing was basically they went to New York for a large chunk of it, and then they did a final concert and to make the love life even bigger because their newfound popularity.
Yep.
Yeah, they went to New York and went through shenanigans
And somehow at a concert in Times Square.
Don't think about it. It's anime. Don't think about it. That's the least egregious thing we've seen in anime. But yeah, it's Umi in general. I like that she's kind of somewhat the serious one, but at the same time she does know when to relent and stuff. She just kind of became, I don't know. I like her enough that I bought a Figma.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just like her because of that. It's funny. There's other stuff. It's like, again, not in the anime, but there's stuff like she's kind of one of the school princes, in the sense that a lot of girls send her confession letters and stuff. She doesn't know how to handle this.
Oh no.
You know, how do you handle this? I forgot. It's one of the things is like she literally
Just burn them. Gets
rid of them. She doesn't respond or anything. She just gets rid of them. It's like, ow.
I can't handle
Ellie
this.
is also another one of the school princes, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because apparently Umi is apparently considered very traditional in her, I guess, beauty is what the idea is. And she's very traditional, so she's traditionally beautiful in the sense. If that might make sense. I think that's what the thing was. Yeah. So that's it. So because of that, she's got that whole fan base going for her.
Yep.
So she's a pretty popular character. She in universe and in real life.
Yeah.
In her own. But yeah, I know Mackie and Ellie are some of the most popular characters. Well, Ellie is interesting to watch because you really didn't like her initially. I remember that.
That was because in season 1 when she was all like really stuck
She
up.
was the antagonist more or less.
She was the antagonist. I don't think we were supposed to like her, but she definitely once things changed and
You warmed up to her once that happened.
yeah, once she joined, her personality changed
A little bit. Well,
well
more like
somewhat.
she saw
stopped,
more of it.
yeah, she stopped trying to be an antagonist.
Yeah,
And warmed up to things, and
because she was trying to shut the school. She was trying to completely shut down Hanukkah. No, don't, you can't form a school idol. You can't. It's ridiculous. You're just gonna embarrass yourself in the school. Just stop.
Yep.
And meanwhile, she's also trying to save the school. That's the thing we see. I think the thing is she sees Hanukkah as an actual problem for her plan to save the school. Hanukkah's a problem, so stop it. Stop the problem before it gets too big. And so you can continue on with your plan to save the school, not realizing Hanukkah's actually probably got the better idea.
I'm trying to remember what Ellie's plan even was.
It was basically try to sell new students on the history of the school, which guess what? Turns out was boring. She tried on her sister and Hanukkah's sister. She tried out a speech about why the school's so great, and they were falling asleep. Yeah, so her ideas wasn't the greatest.
It was not the greatest. Times have changed. Sometimes old history doesn't work so well.
Yeah. That's the thing is also her and Nozomi really do things like they're like a married couple pretty much. Let's be real. I think that's what everyone sees them as. People see them as the mom and dad of the group.
Mom and dad of the group, yeah. Ellie's a dad.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, well, I wasn't a huge fan of her, but it was just because she was obviously the antagonist. And once that stopped and she joined in the group, she didn't have that anymore. And the rest of it, she became a perfectly good character.
Yeah. Yeah, Nozomi is, as we said, as we talked about earlier, she's a bit of a problem. She's, I think, the problematic character.
Yep.
The problem, like I said, she's the one who will grope them, so it's kind of, she gropes the others, and it's just kind of played off for laughs, and it's like, don't like that.
Don't like this.
Yeah. And that's the thing, was the weird thing was like trying to grope Nico as a punishment if she messed up with her schoolwork. It's like,
yeah,
that's not great. Just basically threatening another girl with sexual harassment if she messes up.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is.
It's pretty gross, actually.
Yeah,
but yeah, and I know she's attracted. A lot of the fans she tends to attract are the sketchy fans. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So it's I've noticed that some people's like rule of Love Live, if their favorite is Nozomi, be wary of them. She's also kind of large. Let's just say that. I'll leave it at that. And that's the reason why a lot of people...
Well endowed.
Yeah.
Large tracts of land.
Yeah. So there's that. But actually, though, I will say that her episode she had was actually pretty well done when kind of getting into Nozomi as a person, like why she puts so much stock in Muse being who they are, being together, why she relies on it so much, and why she seems to... like Ellie was the first person she really connected with ever. Yep. Because as a kid, she moved around a lot. So she didn't get to ever connect to anyone. Finally, with Ellie, she finally found someone she connected with, and, well, has pretty much a gay crush on, if we're going to be honest, by the way it was framed.
Yep. Yeah,
you got that going on. So yeah, you guys, those two. You said you also kind of liked Rin a bit.
I was about to say, we're going to talk about Rin. And that's just because she's
the sporty one.
The sporty one.
Sporty and excitable.
The weird part about that one is she does, at least at first, have sort of a tomboyish nature. Oh, yeah. But we found out that's actually kind of a thing she struggles with.
A little bit.
Because it kind of comes back to bite her.
Yeah.
Or it has come back to bite her.
Yeah, and like it said it was alluded to early on and then actually brought into focus later, which is the whole thing of she wants to wear dresses and stuff, but she feels like she can't.
Yep. She has to have this image of...
When she was in elementary school, she wore a skirt once, and a lot of the boys went, "Oh, wow, Rin's wearing a skirt? That's weird."
So
she went, "I'm going to go home and change."
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, so she struggles with it, and like there's a bit where they had to do a performance out the second years because they were on a school trip, and they're like, "Okay, Rin, you're gonna be the center." And it's like, okay, cool, I guess I don't like the idea, but I guess I'll do it. Then you gotta have to wear this big frilly dress. No.
Yep. It was like a wedding dress.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was a fashion show. So it was very much a bridal gown type thing, and
well, because they also made her the temporary leader because Hanukkah was away, the actual leader of the group, which she was not super comfortable with either.
But she was able to at least do that. She was eventually willing to do that one versus the rest. She really resisted the dress thing because she's just like, it will look bad. Everyone will make fun of me.
Yep.
That it's going to ruin the show. And then they kind of, she at first is like, oh, they finally, it looked like she's going to finally pass it off to Hanio. So yeah, I did it. I got out of it. And then guess what?
Guess what?
Last second, no, you're wearing the dress.
Oh.
And then, she got her affirmation when like everyone's talking about how cute she looks and all this. So she's like, oh. So then she's willing to wear dresses and stuff again because you see that her workout outfit is now a dress.
Yep.
Or a skirt, I should say, rather than what she was wearing before, which is almost like parachute pants.
Parachute pants.
Almost, not quite. That was a thing. The other thing was like we got Hania. Well, she got an early episode where she was just struggling with her shyness and stuff. She was a very early episode because that was her whole thing was like she kind of wants to do it, but she's scared of it. But also like Rin had to push her.
Yep, Rin pushed her into it.
And then there was a little Nico got her thing with her family
and stealing food.
Wasn't stealing food.
That was before it. Yeah, she was trying to make him stop.
Yeah,
she's at the restaurant.
Yeah, and then the rich like Hanukkah's like, "Where are my fries? Did you eat my fries? No, what? You actually lost track of how many fries you ate." And then eventually it's like everyone's like, "What?" Then eventually she gets caught with the burger. And at that point, do you just go ahead and keep stealing it, or do you put it back down? She just goes ahead and puts it down, and then runs. Yeah, because Nico's obsessed with idols as well.
Yeah, absolutely obsessed.
And she wants to be one. She's always wanted to be one, and she got to the point where, because of the failure, she's experienced failure. We find that out. She's been running this school idol research club for a long time, or the idol research club for a long time. And she's the problem is she tried to do the school idol thing, but she was so driven that everyone else in the club was like, "Oh, we don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. We're resigning." And so she was kind of left alone.
Yep.
And then that was part of it, and now she's part of this group, and she's happy again. But the only thing was she's lying to her family, saying she's the idol. All the rest are backup dancers,
backup singers, backup dancers. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, Nico's pretty funny, honestly. She's not my favorite, but she gets her nonsense gets pretty funny.
The situations are funny, yeah. Not my favorite character, but yeah, it's pretty funny what happens.
Yeah, just also stuff like she tries to say stuff and everyone just ignores her
or interrupts her, or all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and her little delusions.
Little delusions.
Yeah. The weird thing, Katori is like a character. It's like she's fine. I'm not super. Like, she's fine. She had her episode where she was, she's going to leave. Turns out she might be leaving to, go to France or whatever to study fashion abroad. And then she's like, no, turns out she's just waiting for like Hanukkah to tell her, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
Katori's kind of fine, I guess, but I'm just not like super. I know she had her fans, but actually she had the maid one as well.
Yeah, she's, the legendary maid.
Yeah, Mina Linsky.
Mina Linsky. So yeah, she's got that whole thing, but I'll agree with you. She's a fine character.
Just not my favorite.
Just not my favorite.
She's there. What's funny is that there's a fandom thing because of her smile. Sometimes people are like, that's a little too nice. So there's a similar fandom thing where there's a joke of she's actually secretly yandere.
Oh.
Because she's a little too nice.
A little too nice.
That smile is a little off-putting. So I've seen a lot of fandom stuff about that. Hanukkah's a weird one because I kind of like Hanukkah, but at the same time, she's the main character. But weird enough, I found out she's actually not that popular overall. I found that out. It's like discovering that as the main character, she once came in dead last in a popularity poll.
That kind of sucks.
It's like, wow. It's weird too because like also when it comes to the shipping stuff, she's often just kind of the one left out because there's 9 characters. Math.
Does not evenly divide by 2.
Yeah, so she's often the one left out, and it's kind of like, you kind of feel bad for her.
I kind of do.
Like when you see how much the fandom ignores her. Like I'm looking, like reading fanfics, and I'm looking, it's like how much the fandom straight up ignores Hanukkah. It's like, wow.
The fandom ignores Hanukkah as much as the muse ignores Nico.
Yeah. And it's like, and the thing is, no one really hates her. It's just they forget about her. They don't really pay much attention to her. It's like Nico has a pretty, she's a lot of popularity, but she also has a fairly significant number of people who really do not like her. So that's kind of a weird one. So it's like, yeah, Hanukkah's kind of a fun character, and it's kind of fun watching her kind of do her dumb nonsense. But yeah, it's just like
you can't. I would say you can't ignore her because she is such a critical point of all of Muse. She's basically she is the driving force. Yeah. But beyond that, I just find most, not all, like we just said. God, what was her name? We just said it. Kotori, yeah. Kotori is probably personally less memorable for me.
Yeah, see, you can even remember her name.
It's like, which one? Oh, yeah, Kotori.
Burb.
So, yeah, I would put Hanukkah above Kotori just for that. But otherwise,
I don't know.
My interest is with the other ones.
Part of a Hanukkah's, I guess, appeal would be the fact she sometimes has those hidden those little hidden bits of character where she sees sometimes she's actually not as much of a screw up as people seem to think she is. Like when she's actually like driving herself, like when she was first really like, I want to be a school idol, and like Umi's assuming she's gonna forget about this in like a week. She's gonna give up and forget about it in like a week, and no, she's seeing like how passionate Hanukkah has become, and it's like, oh wow. And then you get Arise, who's a 3-member group who shows up, and they're the kind of the rivals group, but not really a. It's one of those things where it's like if you watch a lot of American media, you're going to assume they're going to be a bunch of jerks, and no, they're actually super nice and supportive and stuff. And it's like, what? It's off-putting when you're like used to American media, where like they would be huge jerks trying to trick them and be underhanded and stuff.
They'd be the villains,
and they're not.
They're not.
They're genuinely nice people who genuinely want Muse to succeed.
Yep.
What?
Even when they're directly competing.
Yeah. And no ill will when they when Muse beats them.
Yep.
They don't hold any ill will for that. It's like, so yeah, I guess there's that, and then Tsubasa kind of has a weird thing for Hanukkah. Possibly, maybe it's kind of vague. Apparently, the manga makes it more of a thing. Possibly,
I mean, there's that whole scene with Maki, scene with Maki
and Tsubasa in the movie. Yeah, because the movie there's that thing. It's like Nico's just looking on in horror. Like the question is she jealous of Maki hanging out with a member of Arise, or is she jealous because Tsubasa is draping herself all over Maki? That's the question. Yes. It's left ambiguous. Most of the fandom likes to interpret it as Nico's upset because someone's stealing her waifu right now.
Exactly.
Because, yeah, Nico Maki's a very popular ship because we haven't touched on shipping, which is a big thing.
It's a big thing, yes.
Not surprisingly, a lot of lesbians in this fandom.
Yes.
Yeah, Nico Maki is like the most popular ship as far as I can tell. Nozo Ellie's very popular as well, but I think it's still second place. Like some places you'll see, like you do a search for Nico Maki, pages and pages and pages. Nozo Ellie still get tons of pages, but like half as many as Nico Maki. Nico Maki is huge. It's like basically one tsundere, another tsundere. Oh boy.
Yep. Tsundere.
Nico's a little tsundere herself, but her tsundere is different from Maki's.
Yes, it is an interesting difference.
Yeah, Maki kind of backs off, tries to pretend like she's distant. Nico goes to anger.
Yep.
So it's kind of two different tsunderes. And yeah, so people really like those two together, and it doesn't help. Also, I think people also like the height difference because Nico's the shortest, Maki's the second tallest. So it's like people like that.
Yeah, size difference is a thing.
Yeah, so Nozo Ellie is just because they pretty much act like a married couple the entire time. And with the Nozomi episode pretty much makes it look like she's got a massive crush on Ellie, and Ellie acts weird about Nozomi as well. And yeah.
Yep.
And there's a whole thing where every single time Ellie's getting all too serious about stopping this idol club, Nozomi's the one that's like, you need to listen, Ellie, you need to calm down, or Ellie Chi, as she likes to say.
Ellie Chi. Yes.
Yeah. And Koto Umi is pretty popular as well because they're there's that group. And then Rin Pana, which is actually Rin and Hanyo, which is because Rin Hana apparently because when you put it's some weird phonetic thing. I don't know. I've looked it up. It's some weird phonetic thing where that makes it the H turns into a P because of reasons. I don't know. Just was what it is. Those two because
Childhood friends.
Childhood friends, and they're actually just cutesy and
Yep.
It's if you really like the innocent stuff. There you go. And Hanukkah kind of gets often left out on this one. That's the problem. Is like people are like, okay, I got 4 good couples. Oh yeah, Hanukkah. Whatever. So Hanukkah often I've noticed is either A, just kind of alone. B, shipped with Tsubasa, or C, she's shipped with Katori and Umi usually.
That friend group.
Yep. The OT3 of the second years.
Yep.
That's a fairly popular. Those are the like the popular ships. And you got the less popular. I think one person put it pretty well, which is when Love Live there are no crack ships.
There are no crack ships.
All of them are viable.
Because I think everyone has met everyone. There's no point where
there is every single one of them is justifiable.
Yeah.
Even my my personal rare pair, which
pair.
I put myself in rare pair hell like an idiot.
Yeah, like an idiot.
Yeah, I like Umimaki, and that's the problem. They say like 5 lines to each other through the entire anime, even though they should have said more.
They're the 2 songwriters, basically.
Umi the lyricist and Maki the songwriter. They should be like super close to each other by the end, but they barely talk to each other.
Yeah, it is a bit weird that those 2 don't converse more.
I'll just say that they kind of addressed that in the Sunshine series. Just leave it at that a little bit.
Interesting.
They kind of addressed that complaint about this one. Because, it's like Umimaki is kind of based off what should be, not what is. And that's the problem. The problem is it's also not very popular because, well, you're interfering with both Nikomaki and Koto Umi by shipping those 2. And how dare you ship...
How dare you?
How dare you? You can't do that. You're messing with the natural order. Yeah, it's there's other ships that are more somewhat popular. Depending, like the manga tends to favor Nozo Nico, which is kind of like, Yeah, the manga tends to go in that direction. That's where the author decided to go. Their interactions tend to be have a more of I guess gay undertone than like other ones. So there's that, like Umi and Ellie have a kind of a thing going on in the manga as well.
Interesting.
So it depends. Like Umi and Ellie gets pretty popular just because they're the 2 serious ones. Like you get the 2 ones who are just like, I'm surrounded by children or stuff. And then you get Hanukkah gets shipped with everyone at some point or another because again she's kind of the central one. So since she's kind of the glue of the group, she kind of naturally goes with any of them without real problems.
Yep.
Yeah. Shipping.
It's
very popular in this fandom.
Shipping is popular in a lot of fandoms.
Yeah. Again, the songs, a lot of the songs are really good. We haven't really talked about those too much, but yeah, the lot of songs are really good. I like a lot of them. I played the game. I've played the game a lot. Apparently, according to the in-game tracker, I've played for almost a year, so there's that. Yeah, I played the game a lot. I think that a lot of the songs are genuinely good. You got the main muse group. You got some solos, trios, duos. You got the sub units, which that's a thing.
That's apparently
there
a thing.
There are 3 groups of 3. You got Printemps, BB, and Lily White. And yeah, those are the 3 groups. And let's see, Printemps is Hanukkah, Katori, and Hanyo. BB is Ellie, Maki, and Nico, and Lily White is Rin, Umi, and Nozomi. Actually, listening to the songs and stuff, because some of the songs you actually can get in the individual versions because of the way they do things. I would actually say Umi and Rin probably have the best voices of all 9 of them. Overall, Nozomi probably has the weakest. I won't say it's outright bad, but it is kind of on the weak side. You can hear sometimes she's just hitting like her limit in some of the songs. But Umi and Rin, if you listen to them, they're actually genuinely probably some of the best. Maki is weird and she's all over the place sometimes. Sometimes she's pretty good, sometimes she's not so great. Depends on the song.
Yeah, that could happen.
Ellie's pretty good. Hanukkah's pretty good. Katori can get a little, I guess, if you don't like really high pitched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, most of them are actually pretty good. I just think Umi and Rin probably actually are the best of the, or 9. Yeah, you get basically 2 of the best voices in one group, but they're also paired with the weakest voice. So,
Yeah, I've only been able to listen to a few of their songs because
There's a lot.
I really only have experience with the anime.
Yeah.
Which only has some of the songs.
A handful.
A decent handful of them.
Any song particularly stand out to you?
Out of the ones that I've listened to, out of the ones in the show, or the ones that you've had me, the ones that you've had me listen to.
Yeah, which some of those were in the show.
Some of those were. Well, I mean, my own. I do like me some Eurobeat. So I was at Psychic Fire. Yeah,
Psychic Fire.
That one was really good. But there are some other ones. Ashitaro Banzai was pretty good too. That one was a little bit different. Ashitaro Banzai. Ashitaro Banzai. Yeah.
It's Ashitaro.
I don't know how to pronounce these things.
I'm just telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Ashitaro Banzai.
That one was pretty good. It was a standout. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one that you had me listen to was very much of a standout. The metal one.
Oh, After School Navigators?
Yeah, After School Navigators.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the music, though. A lot of the lyrics are very I don't want to say shallow, but they don't have a lot of deep meaning to them.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
They're very, very much pop lyrics.
Yes.
Even so, you get After School Navigator is a really weird one because you're like, this is great. What? And then you look at the translated lyrics. Go, what?
It's this heavy metal song
about getting snacks and stuff.
About deciding lunch and getting snacks. Like this is very different than what I expect lyrics for a song like this to have.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's still good songs.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
One of my favorites also is No Brand Girls.
No Brand Girls.
Yeah, it's actually a very popular one in the fandom in general. So Snow Halation and Aishitaru Banzai.
Yeah. The Snow Halation was one of the ones from the...
That's a Christmas one.
Yeah, the Christmas one. They're all good.
Yeah.
They're definitely all good songs, but we all have our own preferences and styles.
Yeah, most of the music stuff tends to stay in the pop area, but they kind of occasionally stray into other genres.
Yeah, that is one thing that I did notice, even through all these, as they do change up the style, the underlying genre, it still has the pop overtones thrown into it. Yeah. So they all have that similarity to them.
As Nico says, an idol's a job is to make everyone else smile.
Yeah.
So that's why it's all very, very, fairly pop, and not exactly deep or meaning.
Yeah,
and occasionally they do the love songs as well, but that's also expected.
Yeah, it'll reach the widest audience and all that sort of stuff.
It's very non-offensive music, basically.
Yes, which to a lot of hard-set musicians who are really into music as music, it can be a bit.
Well, if you want to listen to hard-set and listen to music, then you could just listen to the lyricless versions, and boom, there you go. A lot of that's really good, actually.
Yeah. But I'll also listen to music for other, you get a lot of musicians who absolutely hate pop music for exactly the reasons that pop music is popular.
Yeah.
Hence the name pop music. Because it is kind of, it can sometimes end up somewhat generic and repetitive, or, again, no deep meaning.
Yeah.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, we didn't actually get into the whole story stuff a whole lot. There's most of the characters. Like there's stuff like this Honoka screwed up and got herself sick right before, which they had to pull out of Love Live, and so to find out there's a second one. That's why the second season happened.
Yep.
Stuff like that, and the whole New York trip, and then all that's after the movie happened, the movie's pretty fun as well. Again, it feels like an extra long episode, but It's an anime movie, and it was fine. It's an epilogue to the series. Yeah. And kind of like, you got this, nice little emotional moments and stuff with the characters, which, the characters, you work because they're kind of, some of the problems aren't really that big, they're not huge, but they really sell them to you because you care about the characters by that point.
Yes.
So it's really good, I think.
That's something that the show actually does very well, is it makes you care about the characters.
No, I don't want to cry in an anime, God. No!
I laughed, I cried. It moved me.
Yeah.
Yes, they do make you care about the characters. It's really well written that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, even these little things that wouldn't mean that wouldn't mean a lot do.
Oh yeah, you don't. That's right. You don't have a ship TP or anything for this, do you?
Not really, no.
Yeah. So you're used to screw a ship, or I'm here for the Eurobeat.
I'm here for the Eurobeat. It's like I can see the common ships, but I'm not locked in.
You're not invested.
I'm not super invested into them. Like I can, like you said, the most popular Nikomaki is totally obvious. It's like, yeah, let's go with it because
why not? You're just like, sure, why not? I'll do it.
It's blatant. It's right there, and Ellie.
Nozo Ellie?
Yeah, Nozo Ellie is another one. It's like, wait, they're not
They're not together?
They're not together? It just would seem to work, so sure, why not? But I'm not going to be getting into any online arguments about it.
Yeah, probably for the best with this one. Well, that's the other thing is that I almost forgot. The Love Live fandom has a bit of a reputation sometimes.
Oh.
Like there's apparently in Japan there's a dating site or something for anime fans, and there's actually girls who actually straight up say no Love Live fans. Because the reputation. There's also those headlines of like Love Live fan did this thing. It's like, oh boy, yeah, that sort of thing. There's also there's one thing I want to say real quick with the way the fan works is like some people like to ship the actual VAs. Please don't
ship real people like that.
That's weird.
It can get weird.
It's not so much a problem with these VAs. It's more of a problem with the Sunshine VAs, but it's still a thing and still weird.
It's still weird.
So yeah. Anyway, we're kind of running a little longer than I thought it would, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot we could cover. We didn't, but yeah, I think the characters are kind of the most important part. So that's at. I think Love Live is really great. Even if you heard us and you didn't, it's oh no, you spoiled everything, and you didn't really spoil it.
Yeah, it's
go watch it.
It's not one like you said. It's not so story driven that spoilers are really a big thing. It's all about the interactions, and we can't really spoil the interactions.
Yeah, they're they're very fun characters. Watch it, figure out who your favorites are, and ship and all that stuff. It's fun, honestly.
It's fun.
Watch the whole thing. It's on Crunchyroll. The movie's on Amazon Prime. So on and so forth. It's a
lot of fun. But I didn't go and immediately buy a Nendo upon finishing it like I did at
There's a ton of Love Live Nendos.
I know, but you notice I didn't just immediately start buying Nendos like I did after a certain other anime.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can listen to past and future episodes. You can go to newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. That's spelled Libsyn. All the episodes will be listed there, as well as a bunch of the crap I'm going to list out over the next few minutes. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com. See us there. You have to search for New to Weeaboo right now because we don't actually have a proper channel name because they won't let us.
They won't let us. The man is holding us down.
Yeah, pretty much. There's also iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Search for New to Weeaboo on any of those. Yeah, you can find us there. With Google Play, you have to go to play.google.com/music to find us there. So there's that. And if you want to contact us, you can do so newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. Questions and comments and what do you think of Love Live if you ever watched it. Whatnot, do you have suggestions for animes for us to watch in the future? Tell us. And there's also, we're on Twitter. We're at New to Weeaboo. We'll be there tweeting about stuff occasionally. I just recently tweeted because, hey, look, Love Live Music is actually on Spotify.
Hey!
You can, not all of it, unfortunately, but a lot of it is. So just like search for, I don't know, one of the subunits or something, you'll find it.
Open up the character map so you can actually type the...
No, just literally just search for, say, Lily White. You'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So that's that. Or you can find, look for Bayvia Aquas. You'll find that one pretty quickly because that's actually you can actually type that one.
You can type that one
without having to go to alt codes and like for the muse symbol or something.
Just open the character map.
That's it. I hope you enjoyed. Tune in next month. We'll be talking about a scary anime of some sort. I haven't quite decided which one yet, but we're gonna find something scary because it will be October.
Yep.
So until then, have fun watching anime and stuff. All that stuff. So
see
you guys.